Hello, children. You are welcome to the digital classes of Christ Church Convent Higher Secondary School, Gadawara. I am Amit Toshniwal, your English teacher. This video is for class 10th. Subject is English. Lesson 9, If. This poem is composed by Rudyard Kipling, who was an author and illustrator of Beast and Men in India. He was born in Bombay and educated at United Services Colleges. Then he was engaged in journalistic work in India from 1882 to 1889. He made an immense contribution to English literature with a variety of short stories, poetry, and classics. So, name and literary work he done are given here, and he was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in 1907. In this poem, the poet Rudyard Kipling mentions certain qualifications and conditions which are essential for becoming a complete man, to be a perfect man. I'll read the stanza first. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Its meaning is a man can become a complete man if he has some certain qualifications. He never loses his cool when others get angry and blame him. He has consideration for others' doubts, but he trusts himself. He does not tell lies, nor does he hate others. He never boasts about his wisdom. He listens others carefully, but he does not make his own assumptions. Second stanza. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, actually it is not S is missed here, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Its meaning is he is neither elated in prosperity nor depressed in adversity. He is tolerant and a patient spectator. He develops a strong willpower. He remains same whether he loses or he gets a victory. He never imposes his thoughts on others, and he is ready to take up the truth in its crystal clear form. And when he is being made fool, he takes it up as a challenge, and he accumulates all his strength and power to come up the adversities of life. He never quarrels the tools of life, and he tries to cope up in each and every condition of life. Next stanza. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it one on turn of fetch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breath and word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve this new to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Its meaning is he never loses his heart on losing his achievements and develops a strong willpower. He never loses his time or his virtue and lives within his periphery, within his limits. When life takes away all the achievements, all the prosperity, and he is under a situation of up and downs, then he never complains and never tells about his sorrow of loss. He regains his power, his longings, and again ready to fight with the struggle of lives. This is the last stanza. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you will be a man, my son. Its meaning is he is neutral and uniform with his intimates or rivals. He is steadfast in his conduct, and he is bold and persistent. He doesn't have any grudge for his foes, enemies, and makes and one who makes the best and optimum use of every single second of life. When one who has friendship and relations with riches, but even he does not lose the common touch. He looks in the same manner with common people. So such a man can become complete and perfect man. This is the end of this poem. You listen it carefully once again, and what moral comes out of this poem is that one should possess some virtues and worth of fighting with up and downs of the life. One should be balanced with his mind and intellect. Should not glorify oneself. Should not boast about the achievements of life. Must be very humble. So this is the lesson that we get out of this poem. Thank you.